The last 2 months of his life, Dr. King faced the idea that civil rights alone could not solve the problem of poverty. He roamed the South, trying to gain support for Poor People's Campaign. Its goals: full employment, a guaranteed income, and decent housing for every American.
The campaign would recruit among all races, bring them to Washington, force the government to respond, a nonviolent army of the poor.
All working together to solve the problem of poverty. We're tired of working full-time jobs for part-time income, and we are tired of not being able to find work. And it didn't cost the nation 1 penny to integrate lunch counters. It didn't cost the nation 1 penny to guarantee the right to vote. Now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power. Yes. If our nation can spend $35 billion a year to fight an unjust, evil war in Vietnam, and $20 billion to put a man on the moon, it can spend billions of dollars to put God's children on their own 2 feet right here on earth. This is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, we are coming to get our check. Very frankly, this is a search for an alternative to riots. The riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it that America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear that the promises of freedom and justice have not been met. All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But if a man doesn't have a job or an income, he has neither life nor liberty and the possibility for the pursuit of happiness. He merely exists. We are demanding an emergency program to provide employment for everyone in need of a job, or if a work program is impractical, a guaranteed annual income at levels that sustain life in decent circumstances. This is a new beginning on the economic front.
The Poor People's Campaign was about economics. Hey, what happened to that whole movement? It's almost as if it disappeared.
Wait a minute. It didn't disappear. You might forget Martin Luther King was assassinated in April. The Poor People's Campaign was supposed to go to Washington in April. So the organization that mobilized it was essentially decapitated and thrown into chaos about 3 weeks before it was supposed to happen.
The realistic fact is that we still have a long, long way to go. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. Now we're going to march again, and we've got to march again. People will come to see that not only is something wrong in general, but something is wrong in particular in their own economic situations. Constantly trying to make ends meet, but because of either no job or a job that is so economically unprofitable that the person can't make ends meet. And I think they see all of these things, and more they are coming to see them.
William Jafta works the streets of Cape Town as the animal sound man. With an incredible repertoire of animal mimicry, William makes money by performing his animal sounds to the delight and sometimes shock of passing tourists and locals.
It's a dog there.
With a collection of over 12 different animal sounds, William trains every day to master his pitch and tone to perfectly mimic each particular animal.
To learn all these voices, it takes a lot of time. It's now around 20 years I'm doing the sounds, and I started from the age from 4 years. Actually, I'm still practicing more, listen to the sounds and practice my voice every day, every minute, every second, that I hear some voices.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, I think one man who might be appearing on the internet pretty soon if people start looking out for him on the streets. He is truly incredible to see and hear. You actually can't believe what your eyes are seeing. This gentleman is starting to break all of the rules in terms of what a human can do with their mouth. It is the guy who makes the animal calls like no other. He can probably communicate with about 16 different species now. Take a look.
Having grown up amongst the farmlands of Paarl, William has been fascinated by the calls animals make from a young age. And while his sounds are nearly perfect, the question is, can William also talk to animals?
She wants to leave her husband because of hearing my sexy voice. Does one don't want to be Christmas lunch? This is a new friend. She is overjoyed to meet me for the first time. This one was very depressed, but now she's in a good mood. I'm an animal lover. It's nice to talk to animals and to listen and see what they need.
Despite his incredible talent, William is still a street performer, but he hopes to take his talent to new heights and perform to a wider audience.
It's a loving for me, my brothers, my family. My goal is to grow it bigger, but not for myself, for the people around me, so that they can see what else can you do with yourself, what can we do with our talents. And there's a lot of talent in our young people.
As he continues to perfect his technique, there's no doubt William has a bright future as the greatest animal soundman the world has ever seen. And perhaps even as the final missing link for human and animal communication.
She's so happy to see me. She wants to give me free milk for my birthday, but it's not my birthday.
Somebody give the man his own TV show. Come on.
Oh, man. I guess so much
Feeling
more
inspired.
than an animal ventriloquist, if that's what we can call him. He is brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. William Jafter, keep it up, my friend. We'll be getting you off the streets in no time. Yeah?
Welcome again, brothers and sisters and cousins of the other races who support our struggle for economic independence. My name is Neville Farkey, and I am the coordinator of the Black Economic Network channel. This is video number 18, in which the feature segments are about Dr. Martin Luther King to celebrate his birthday, and specifically about the Poor People's Campaign that he led or started to lead before he was assassinated. And the other main segment is about how to plant your dollar tree. And of course there are a number of other segments dealing with different topics. First, I want to say thanks again for the support that you have been giving to the channel. And please continue to subscribe, comment, share the videos with friends and relatives and colleagues. And I want to say again special thanks to people who have been sending content that I include some of them or parts of them in the videos. Also, I want to mention that I reply to most of the comments, and I also, in some cases, I'm able, the subscriptions that I see, I comment on them or say thanks to the people when I can. I want to mention Prof. Gilly E. He made a long and very encouraging comment. He's a professor at Florida University. I want to say, say thanks to him, in addition to all the other people who have made their comments. One little thing I want to point out, which was brought to my attention, I want to make it clear that we do not agree totally with everything that we put on the channel. We put them on the channel for you to see them and for you to make up your mind. Of course, we don't put stuff that are totally opposed to what we are trying to achieve, to build the network and to improve the financial, the economic position of the African race, black people, on the economic pyramid. But we do not agree, I do not agree with everything that I put in these segments and on the channel. We don't put a lot of these conspiracy theories and those kinds of things, even if they are dealing with the economic issues that we are dealing with. We don't put those and some other things. We are selective naturally for many reasons, but don't necessarily agree. I don't agree with everything that is there, that is that is put on in the different segments. The other thing I want to mention, I'm not going to introduce individual segments because, of course, over time we have been improving the channels to the point that we don't need the individual introduction to segments. Also, I don't want to make the videos longer than absolutely necessary. The segments, they have captions from the original videos, and we include almost all of the graphics that you see. We make them in some cases, but we include almost all the graphics that you see to help you to better understand the segments that are shown in these videos.
Cooling on a couch watching TV. So I'm feeling nothing but lazy. Feeling to some nothing else to do. Might as well go to the board and drop something brand new. Feeling on the dice, throwing shit down. Making me hard to the sound. About to stop. Hungry, then I'm up for the clock now. Cause I found out you liking this. Would you want it back? Would you want it back? Would you want it?
Top 20 Best Small Business Ideas for Beginners. Starting a small business can be frightening and requires plenty of careful planning. There are many small business ideas which can be beneficial as well as economical. The last thing a new entrepreneur or new business needs is to be found in a financial state due to unnecessary spending. When starting a small business, the key is to remember it is small, and initially the intention should be to limit spending until a profit is made. So let's get started with top 20 best small business ideas for beginners. 1. Yoga center and help people to be healthy and fit. 2. Start catering business for providing foods on special functions, events, and parties. 3. Travel agency. People often travel to different destinations. Travel is a business which is never going to stop, so start a travel agency. 4. Fast food shop and provide quality food. 5. Start chocolate cafes. We all love chocolate and just can't resist it. You can eat your profits all the way to the bank with this enterprise. 6. Fitness programs by running fitness courses. 7. One product restaurants. This capitalizes on one specific type of food and all you can do with it. Sounds crazy, but it makes many millions. 8. Hosted security provider. Get paid to keep other people's websites free from hackers, spyware, trojans, worms, and viruses. 9. Data backup. Help others to back up all their data so they can retrieve it later if need be. 10. Surveillance camera. These are a hot item these days to be selling. With all the crazy people out there, today every business can use one. 11. Start a massage business. 12. Home improvement and handyman services. 13. Children's educational programs and services. 14. Software products and application development. 15. Consulting services. This is another one of the top business ideas. If you already have work experience, this is a great area where you can start your business. If you have knowledge of other firms unrelated to yours, you can expand your consulting services and even learn from each. That way, you can cash in more. 16. Selling car and machinery spare parts. 17. Professional car washing business. This can be a good business if you choose big cities and towns where you will be able to find a number of good cars. 18. Internet connection provider service. You can provide fast internet connection at affordable monthly rates and manage it well enough to make tons of money. 19. Start a furniture business by hiring a carpenter. 20. Pure water production and sell as sachet, bagged, or bottled water. The internet is a great resource for small business ideas. Thousands of people have great ideas for a business venture but require assistance getting the ball rolling. Fortunately, there is plenty of help available for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. There are government websites that contain valuable small business ideas. So check out and get more business ideas. Also, share your own business ideas below in the comment box.
suddenly you left me alone by myself.
This segment deals with an easy way, well, the steps that you can take to, that I suggest you take in starting, in planting and growing a small business. In in the earliest videos, I think video number 1 and 2 and 3, where I was introducing myself and explaining more what the channel, the goals of the channel. I did say a bit about my training as an economist, a development economist and development planner, and my work experience in preparing development plans and business plans and that kind of thing, in addition to my practical experience growing up in business and having my own business and so on, which I dealt with to some extent in the early videos 1, 2, and 3, where I introduced myself a bit, although I don't necessarily like to go into details and talk about myself. So this section is about the steps that are recommended, that I recommend I suggest and recommend for you to start your own, grow, plant your own Dollar Tree, your own small business, and particularly suggested easy way to plan your business. Planning is very important, but you don't need, small business doesn't need a sophisticated feasibility studies and all of these things that are sometimes recommended by other people and agencies. The people who start businesses, small businesses in the black community, the other races, they don't do any sophisticated planning. I'm pretty sure of that. And it's important to have a plan, a simple plan, but not complicated and spend a lot of money and so on preparing this plan. I will also read the notes that are included in the section, because I include notes so you can read them, and especially if you have a smart TV where the text is bigger than on a phone. I'm reading the notes as I read things before, because the text would be too small on a phone for you to be able to read it. So I will read the notes so you can follow along. But if you have a smart TV, the best thing to watch these videos is to go online and log on to YouTube and search for Black Economic Network channel. YouTube, search for Black Economic Network channel, and you will see most of the videos that we have online. Okay.
Cooling on a couch, watching TV. No, I'm feeling nothing but lazy. Feeling to some nothing else to do. Might as well go to the board and drop something brand new. Feeling on the dice, throwing shit down. Making me vibe to the sound. About to stop. Hungry that I'm up for the plug now. Cause I found out you like it then. Don't you want it back? Don't you want it back? Don't you want it?
List of steps to plant your own Dollar Tree or to grow it. Steps to plant your own small business or other investment like the other races have done inside and outside black communities. Step number 1. First step to reach any goal is to decide on the goal. So the first step to plant and grow more black business is to set it as a economic priority. If you don't know the business you would like to start, a good idea is to consider your hobbies that others are likely to demand, or a problem you have that is not easy to find help to solve it. Must start small and grow over time till it bear fruits for years, like planting and growing a mango tree. Step 2, to plant your own dollar tree or to grow it. The second step is to write a simple business plan. You must get inputs from your business partners again. The plan needs to start with you thinking about markets for your outputs and sources for your inputs, especially finance. Plan the first year in details and other years or two in much less details. Simple way is to prepare a draft plan to plant or to grow a small business is to ask any question that comes to your mind. Start with, what is the name of the business? Choice of a suitable name will make it easier and cheaper to promote it. A few tips about a suitable small business name will be given in a later slide, and other questions will be in the next list. The third list shows other planning questions you should ask, such as, where will we locate the biz? What goods will we produce and or services can we provide to sell? How much of each output do we expect to produce in a given time period, average week or for a month and for the year? What average price can we get for each input? What inputs will we need? What are the likely costs of these inputs? When can we start? It is important to plan to produce closely related goods and or services in phases over time, such as each year, started in the first year. Plan to produce something to start generate some cash flow in the first year. For example, if you're growing a tree crop that will take 3 years to start bearing, you should mix it with veggies or other short-term crops to sell in the first year. Next list will give a few tips about suitable business names.
Suddenly, you left me alone by myself.
A few tips about choosing a suitable small business name. Use a name close to the top of the alphabet so your business will get put close to the top of any list. Don't include your name or family's name unless the name is well known, because it will be more difficult to sell the business if you decide to do that later. Make the name short, but don't use one word for the name. Add one or two other words, including the kind of business and its location. For example, Caribbean Restaurant of Petersburg, not Petersburg Caribbean Restaurant, which would put it further in an alphabetical listing. The last slide, title of the last slide or list is Business Plan Revision and Some Other Business Issues. Revise the draft plan once before you plant the business. Also, revise it later when necessary as the business grows. Some previous videos dealt with small business financing, and we will continue to make more suggestions in future videos about topics like more on small business planning, financing, and marketing.